According to Alex Kuruvilla, president of Condé Nast India, the average Indian spends a staggering one-fifth of the wealth accumulated in his lifetime on a son or daughter's wedding, second only to the investment made in the family home. Combine this long-standing tradition with the desire for upward social mobility and a rapidly developing economy with hundreds of millions of newly affluent consumers entering the market, and you have a wedding business estimated to be worth 38 billion a year, according to figures provided to both by Condé Nast India. At current growth rates of 25 to 30% annually, the Indian bridal industry will become the largest wedding market anywhere in the world within 2 years, surpassing the American wedding market estimated to be worth around 50 billion annually. It's not surprising then that local and international players are trying to get in on the action, and the market is slowly becoming more structured. Mr. Singh set up India Bridal Fashion Week in Mumbai in 2010, and in the same year a Culture Fashion Week was created under the remit of the Fashion Design Council of India, providing an additional showcase for bridal clothing and jewelry in New Delhi. Up until then, we do not have any platform for showcasing bridal culture in this country, explains Mr. Singh, whose main business is in the luxury hospitality sector, organizing between 80 and 90 luxury weddings every year. In the last 5 days, more than 12,000 people have visited our exposition, and we have come to know whose wedding is where when it will take place. This generates a lot of leads for us to convert into luxury weddings. Earlier this year, Condé Nast got into the action to Mr. Caravilla staged the first ever Vogue wedding show exhibition and published an accompanying Vogue wedding book featuring some of the very top names from across the Indian bridal industry. We believe that Vogue has the ability to connect the most affluent Indian families to the best brands in the bridal space, besides calling it one of the venerable fashion media brand's most innovative brand extensions. A gold rush and cultural level pricing. The single biggest part of the Indian wedding industry is the buying and selling of gold jewelry. India is the biggest consumer of gold in the world, and according to Vipin Sharma, the World Gold Council's director of jewelry for the Indian market, about 50% of India's gold demand can be attributed to weddings, which means more than 400 tons of gold is exchanged at weddings in India each year, making it the single largest component of the Indian wedding market, worth around 25 billion a year. About 60% of the total wedding market. Gold is a natural hedge against inflation. It is a luxury product. It is an expression of in terms of what a bride wants to express as her own identity, and it also has a religious connotation to it and is auspicious, explains Mr. Sharma, but above all, it is a store of wealth. It's a wealth that gets accumulated during weddings passed down from generation to generation. The sheer scale of gold jewelry at Indian weddings boggles the mind. The bride's jewelry at an average high-end wedding in India will have pieces which are 10,000 to 40,000 each, with an overall budget of about 200,000 spent on jewelry alone. If you go to the weddings of ultra-high net worth individuals, jewelry pieces of 500,000 or 1 million would not be surprising, as Mr. Sharma. Likewise, the clothing budget alone for a high-end Indian wedding can easily surpass 500,000, with scores of people to dress from the families of both the bride and the groom for multiple events that can spend more than a week. A top and heavily instructed bridal lehenga alone can cost up to 100,000, putting it in the same leagues as haute couture prices in Paris. If you go to the top 50 designers in India and you look at the main contributors of their business, you will find that 60 to 80% of their business is in bridal couture, says Mr. Singh. Tomorrow, in part 2 of Inside India's Big Fat 38 billion wedding market, we examine the top designers that cater to the country's bridal market, the opportunities for international luxury brands, and the forces set to shape the market in the years to come.